Hello there. It is July 2023 and we are back at Badger's Holt. We were here 8 years ago. I caught half of the catfish, 80 odd pound, didn't catch anything else. So I've been looking forward to coming back. It was supposed to be here 3 years ago before COVID came, and that scuppered that. So eventually we have made it back. It's the first afternoon, it's about 7:30 now. As always, it's taken us an age to get set up and mark our spots and bait them out and all that sort of business. But hang on, I'm done now. So yeah, good. I can actually sit down and relax for the first time today. 2 weeks ago there was nobody here. The guys were here last week in the book. They didn't catch anything apart from after the catfish. Don't want to catch that again. So there's been no carp come out for 2 weeks. Weather's a bit mixed this week. It's not nice and bright now, but it's not mega hot. So we'll see how it goes this week. Yeah, there's some big fish in here. If anyone knows Badger's Holt, there's some couple of 70s, I think. Well, I know, and a good head of fish over 50 pounds. So it's not going to be an easy week at all. But we'll see how it goes. And you never know, we might catch something. Might get lucky for a change. Good morning. It's Sunday morning. Yeah, nothing last night. I had 2 rods out last night. I baited the far bank. Everyone does that, don't they, crumbs? But yeah, so I had a bottom bait out there, and I also had a pop-up a bit further along where the grassy bank is, or bushes over there. So, but nothing. I had one little quick little run, which I thought was going to go to a run, but it was nothing. There are crayfish in it, so it could be crays. I'm interested to bring that in soon. Hopefully the cray hasn't nicked my bait. I did use a hard hooker. I didn't shrink wrap it because it did feel quite hard, but I have got shrink wrap, and if that's the way I need to go, I will go that way. But yeah, it's just getting a feel for it on the first night, isn't it? See how things go. So yeah, it's a nice bright morning. So the weather should be a little bit mixed this week, which would be a good thing in a way. You know, not hot, real hot, but maybe a little bit of rain a couple of days. So. Unlike the first year we came here when it was up into like the 40s, which killed it, we can't use that excuse this year. So yeah, get down to business now. You're a bit of a rush yesterday, getting here, getting set up, getting the rods out, finding spots. Went round there, had a little light led around, but you didn't want to make any disturbance, do you? You know, as minimum as possible. Just needed to check, but the ground was decent, and it was. So I'll leave my rods out another couple of hours. Be interesting when I bring, especially the bottom bait, which had that little sort of half take, which went to nothing. It obviously wasn't a run. Hopefully my boil is still on. If not, I'm going to be shrink wrapping. So, okay, let's get on with it. Like I said, no fish from the guys last week, and nobody fished it the week before. So we'll see how it goes, eh? Just got to keep going. Still Sunday morning. So there's one thing I thought I'd try. I nearly tried it last time, and it's not probably a method that people may have used or not here, and it's maybe even not seen as a big fish method, but there is probably nothing I could do that someone hasn't already tried. I mean, I remember Simon, when we was here last time, said I think it was a Dutch gentleman turned up with his van with tanks of live bloodworm in it, and so everything's been tried probably, but I'm going to give something a go, just something to go on my third rod. And if we come over here, nothing new, but the method. Okay, so yep, the method, I mean, sometimes seen by some people as a small fish method, you know, the bagging waggler for matchmen and that, but there is no reason why it will not catch big fish. I mean, if nothing else, I'm putting it in, and I've already been out there this morning towards the monk, towards the areas, and I've pulled out them sort of like large ground bait balls. So, you know what, there's all sorts of goodness in there. I've put all oils and a bit of cream and bits and pieces in there, so there's going to be good traction, even if the little fish come in and nose around it, maybe just out of curiosity some of the big carp come in, but who knows. I mean, all you can do is try. You come these places, you just sit behind the rods trying the same thing all the time. It's something different, and I'm going to give the method a go, and let's see what happens, if anything. Let's see if it's a good method. Well, still Sunday, probably about 7 o'clock now. Yeah, 3 rods out on the far bank. I've got a wafter. It's actually a Torbait's line ball wafter. I caught on that at Olive Mead, and I'm still sticking with my white Ronnie rig pop up over to the far bank and my method mitch. Now the method, I probably should practice the method, but I brought it in after about 3 hours and it was as good as new. It was still a complete ball. I was kind of hoping it might break down a little bit. I did take it out with the boat and drop it so it didn't have a big drop to sort of start breaking up. I'd like it to start dissolving a little bit, but it came back more or less a complete football. And I'd also stuck the hook in it, so that so it's gone back out. I've dried the mix up. It looks like it's a bit more flaky, put a bit more pellet in, help it break down. And this time I haven't put the hook in the ball, so if nothing else, if a carp takes it, there's a little actually I've gone for a little black dumbbell to sort of almost match the hatch, as they could say, and match the pellets that's inside. I scalded the pellets down and add it to the mix of the method. So yeah, but there we go. So yeah, you know, actually for the first time this afternoon I sat down for about 2 hours this afternoon and read my book. It's amazing how you just continually tidying, fixing things, making things, going around baiting. Actually it was nice to sit down for a couple of hours at last and just enjoy being here. But you know, got to get some work done, got to try and catch some fish. Haven't seen a lot today at all, haven't seen anything showing, nothing topping, but alright, we're cracking on. Well, Monday morning, yeah, no fish, not panicking yet much, so yeah, nothing to report. It would be nice to get a run. Just, I mean, obviously, you know, we've done a week here. I only caught half hour. So I mean, it's always better, isn't it, when you establish a spot? But when you have caught nothing, you don't have a confident spot to go. So we're still searching for that. I mean, yesterday, bottom bait, pop up, the method, which was obviously a bit out the box, something to try, but why not? And nothing caught last week. I did say after last time we came in, it was red hot. Give me an even conditions of a decent bit of weather, and I reckon I'll get one. Well, I got it. It's, if anything, it's over cloudy. It's only very early. It's only about 7 in the morning, 7:30. I've got up, and you know, it's actually a little bit of drizzle in the air. It's cool, so the conditions are good. Can't use that excuse. And the guys last week, it says here, there's your book, Tom and Lee. Alright guys, thanks for leaving notes for us. It was interesting to see what you put in. I mean, we don't put lots of bait in. On the first night we put quite a bit of particle. We brought pellets, we put boilie in, put a bit in. There's as many writings in this year and last year in the book that says heavy baiting worked, and there's as many that says heavy baiting approach this week didn't work. So you have to you take from that what you want. So, but we haven't put a lot of bait in. I'm not seeing, like last year, the fizzing on the naturals, which absolutely, obviously they were on naturals. I mean, they could be on, but I don't see them fizzing like they were on the bloodworm. So I don't know. Monday morning, when you first wake up, isn't it? And I know all carp anglers would be, when you first wake up after a night, that first half hour, you've had a cup of tea and regrouped. It's the down time, isn't it? It's, oh God, didn't catch. But it's only Monday morning, and yeah, we keep going. Well, Tuesday afternoon, or about 5 o'clock, and yeah, still no fish. This is getting a bit panicky now. No runs. Baits are coming back okay, so I've been fishing. It's been quite. Actually, I'm standing in the sun, but it's been quite cool and windy this morning. In fact, there's grey clouds up there, but even about 12 o'clock today, it was only 13 degrees when I got in the car. So it's been cool. You would say I can't blame the sun this time for it being too hot, and we've had a bit of rain. There's been a bit of wind on the lake, and the more annoying thing is you would probably say the conditions are good, but at this moment I cannot get a fish out of this lake. Keep trying. Baits are back out, ready for the evening and night session. So yep, keep going, keep sticking with it. But yes, it's proving tricky. I've given up with the method. I gave it a go, didn't I? Sometimes you've got to try something out of the box, something a one-off on one rod, something. Just it was worth a go, wasn't it? If I'd caught, I'd have felt quite pleased with myself. So, but it didn't prove it didn't work because I haven't caught on anything. So it's not even saying it wouldn't work. But I've gone back to. I've got 2 bottom baits and 1 pop up. I'm over the far margin with the 2 bottom baits. I'm in the middle, just past the monk between these 2 aerators. I've got a white pop up on there, so I'm mixing things up. I am doing about all I can do. Apart from the one thing I can do and I can't do is catch a fish. Well, it is still Tuesday. Yeah, it's probably about 9 o'clock now. We've got some grub on the go. We've got a barbecue going, even though it's smoking a bit, but it's going to sort itself out. Yeah, fish have been showing, so hopefully I'll bring the camera around here. So where I am is to the monk, behind the monk, so to the right but more to the left of the monk on the far side. The fish are showing. I have got a bait down there, so fish have been topping, head and shouldering, whatever you want to say it is, and in nowhere else in the lake they're not showing. So down the shallows we haven't seen a great deal, so you would assume I am in the right place. That's all you can do, you know. Doesn't mean to say it's going to pick up my bait, but it gives you a bit of confidence to think, hang on, there's fish head and shouldering down where I have a bait, so that's all we can do. We've seen, Richard and Lindsay have come up and spoke to us a few times. Nice guy, nice people. Yeah, Richard has suggested a couple of bits and pieces. They seem good people. So good luck to them on their quest of running this fishery from now and going forward. But there we go. So Tuesday night, yeah, no fish. Fish are showing. It's clear. It's a little bit chilly, but for I guess normally what July would be. The wind has died down. That's been in perfect conditions all day. The wind's died down, but fish are topping, and they're topping where I had my bait. So you can't hope for much more than that, apart from actually catching one. Tuesday morning, I haven't reported back yesterday because there is nothing to report. Gosh, it's frustrating now. It's big fish Thursday, but any fish Thursday would do me, I must admit. When you first wake up, that first half hour, sulk around a bit, got to sort of snap out of it, and still got 2 days, but not seeing a lot down the lake. Right in the far corner, koi corner, and to the behind the monk and tight against the dam wall. Fish showing there last night, and I tell you, there's some come out. There are some big fish in there. It jump out and it's like a pig coming out. I think crumbs. It's almost taunting you. Yeah, and just one fish. What a difference! You could catch one fish. How the mood in the camp could be lifted. So it's still quite cool. Conditions are good. It's like a September day. It is meant to get a little bit bright this afternoon. I guess if I'm going to blank, I might as well blank in the sun, eh? But yeah, carried on last night. We pop up far back, put a bit more bait at you, a bit more particle and pellet. Cut down the size of my body to almost mimic the particle. But no, nothing at all. Just watching a few big lumps jump out. But there we go. Thursday is a big fish Thursday. Any fish Thursday would do. But yeah, I need to snap myself out of it and get back some enthusiasm. At the moment, it's not really happening. I think I'd be more surprised if it did go well. But we know you can sit here and all of a sudden it could just rip off. And you've got to live in hope, haven't you? You have to. Friday morning. And there's been a fish. Thank God for that. Yeah, this morning, probably about 6 o'clock, I had a run, and it was from the far bank towards a koi corner, just in play on the rules, just to the right of the aerator and the stick. So I pushed it right down into the corner. In fairness, fish have been showing down there more than anywhere all week. It's probably because left of the aerators down there is the safe zone. You can't fish it by the rules, and it's very hard to fish it anyway, but say the rules say no. But you know, I went down to where they were, and yeah, not the biggest fish in the lake at 38.6, I think. So, but a relief to get one. Thank God for that. That's what I say. Yeah, time was running out, and eventually, after 2 trips here with Arthur in the first one, I've managed to catch what I was trying to catch. So it has been tough going. I don't know, if you come at the right time of year and get things in your favour, you find some spots. I mean, I don't think you're never going to haul them out one after another. I bet a good week, if a couple of you came, would have been, you know, if you were to get 8 fish between you in a week, that would probably be a good week. Anything better than that, and you're lucky. I mean, but so yeah, thank God for that. But yeah, still got 24 hours or so. It's overcast. It's a little bit fresh. Conditions are good. Obviously, I've put my bait back out in that area. I've got dismantled one rod. I'm down to 2. Sometimes, yeah, I didn't need the distraction of one in the left. Fish well and fish hard with 2, and I'm going to give that a go. But yeah, we got one. So I've got the photos of it. I'll add them to the video. And a nice one. That is it. Saturday morning. Packing up. Just the one fish, unfortunately. Bit of disappointment, considering such lovely fishing here, but that's the way fishing goes. More or less packed up now. Just had a tug of war with my fox bivvy trying to get it apart. Dear me, that was hard work. I'm trying to get it under tension to get the poles out when they were wet, but there we go. So yeah, it's a shame not to have nabbed one of the big ones, but that's the way fishing goes. But never mind, we go again. I mean, Olive Mead a couple of weeks time. I've already had one fish on my first trip there. Why am I all steamed up? And then I'll be off to Thailand. So guys, one fish. I didn't blank, thank God.